Hello there, you guys. Welcome to one of my videos. So, Manchester United will beat Chelsea this evening. Now, if we do win, it will be our third win in a row in all competitions because we have won our last two games. We beat PSG by 2 goals to 1, and we beaten Newcastle by 4 goals to 1 in our last league game. Now, obviously, we know this is going to be a tough game against Chelsea. Chelsea are not in the commanding position as we expected them to be, reflecting on the signings that they made in the summer transfer window. They spent over £200 million. Obviously, they brought Kai Havertz in, they brought Ben Chilwell in, they brought Milan Sarr in, they brought Thiago Silva in, they brought Mendy in, they brought Timo Werner in. Back in February, they brought Hakim Ziyech in. So far, Chelsea have beaten Crystal Palace. They've beaten Brighton, but they drew with West Brom 3-3. They lost to Liverpool. They got knocked out of the Carabao Cup against Tottenham, and they recently drew with Sevilla 0-0. This is obviously Frank Lampard's second season as Chelsea manager. Obviously, Chelsea is the second club in his managerial career because before he was at Chelsea, he was at Derby. He began his managerial career with Derby. But reflecting how long Lampard's been at Chelsea, he has gained managerial experience. He was a good player for Chelsea. He enjoyed 13 good years with them. He's their all-time leading goal scorer with 211 goals. Chelsea have got good players in their team. Obviously they've got the likes of Azpilicueta, they've got Pedro, they've got Olivier Giroud, they've got N'Golo Kante, they've got Kovacic, they've got Jorginho, they've got Danny Drinkwater, they've got Rudiger, who's a very, very good centre-half for them. They've also got a lot of good young players, like I mentioned on the preview. They've got Mason Mount, they've got Callum Hudson-Odoi, they've got Tammy Abraham, they've got Billy Gilmour. He broke into their first team last season. They've obviously got that Reece James. So there you go. But Solskjaer is looking to beat Frank Lampard for the fourth time as Manchester United manager because last season Solskjaer beaten Frank Lampard 3 times. Because on the opening day of last season at Old Trafford, we beaten Chelsea by 4 goals to 0. We beaten them in the Carabao Cup 2-1. And we're beating them at Stamford Bridge by 2 goals to 0 in the league. But we lost our last meeting with Chelsea. We lost 3-1 in the FA Cup semi-final. So Frank Lampard has beaten Ole Gunnar Solskjaer once. So this evening's game is going to be the 5th meeting between Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Frank Lampard as managers. Now, you saw my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference yesterday. He has confirmed that he expects Edinson Cavani, Harry Maguire, and Mason Greenwood to be available for selection. Now, Harry Maguire obviously didn't play in Paris because I think he has been now with injury. Harry Maguire did play in our last league game though against Newcastle. He got his name on the score sheet. And Solskjaer said prior to that game he's backing Harry Maguire to bounce back from his early season troubles. Because don't forget, Harry Maguire sustained a knock in England's 1-0 defeat to Denmark, and he also got sent off in that game. And don't forget, the other month he had that incident in Greece when he got arrested. Obviously, he's our captain. As it stands at the moment, Harry Maguire is the most expensive centre-half in the world because we got him in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester. And as for Mason Greenwood, He's missed our last 2 games. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer recently said that the English media are starting to go after Greenwood, and he says he should be left alone. And he's basically defended Mason Greenwood, and he blasts our ex-players for criticising him. Solskjaer has also denied that Mason Greenwood has been punished for his poor timekeeping. Now, we had a few issues with Mason Greenwood before the start of the season and all of that. Last season, he broke into our first team. So this season's his second season in our senior squad. Mason Greenwood is our number 11. That got confirmed at the start of the season. He's the 4th Manchester United player to wear the number 11. As for Edinson Cavani, should be making his debut today. He may not start the game, but I think he still should be making his debut. Edinson Cavani obviously wasn't available to play against his former club PSG. Couldn't play against Newcastle due to COVID-19 restrictions. He's been training recently more as Edinson Cavani. We got him on a free transfer on deadline day. He signed a 2-year contract with a football club worth around 220 grand a week. And Edinson Cavani is obviously our new number 7. He will be the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic at Manchester United. Eric Bailly is unavailable. He's out for 3 to 4 weeks with a muscle injury. This has been confirmed by Solskjaer. I think Bailly's a very, very good centre-half, but my element of concern about him, he's too injury-prone. Eric Bailly sustained a hamstring injury whilst he was on international duty with the Ivory Coast. And Jesse Lingard, he's also unavailable. Anthony Martial, he's also unavailable because he's suspended. He did get sent off in our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham. And he got a 3-game suspension in the league. So he served 1 game, he's got 2 games to serve. Martial hasn't enjoyed the best of starts to this season, but I thought last season very, very good under Solskjaer, and he was also very, very good in his debut season under the Louis van Gaal era. Martial's enjoyed around 5 years or so now at the football club. I think this evening Axel Tuanzebe should be getting a start. I thought Axel Tuanzebe was superb against PSG. That game against PSG was his first start for Manchester United in 10 months. And I like the way he dealt with Mbappe and Neymar. Tuanzebe, has sustained quite a few injuries. But yeah, Solskjaer mentioned him recently, and he's challenged Axel Tuanzebe to add consistency to ensure that he has a long career with Manchester United, and Solskjaer's obviously hoping that he can stay injury-free. As for Donny van de Beek, he probably won't be starting this evening's game. Solskjaer mentioned him in the press conference, about his lack of playing time, because there's a lot of Man United fans that are infuriated. Because obviously, Donny van de Beek has not yet made his full debut for the football club. But Solskjaer said, he needs to settle in and he needs to adapt. I think Solskjaer's thinking about what position to put him in, because he can play in like 3 different roles. But Donny van de Beek's predominant position is box to box. But don't get me wrong, I think he's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. We got him from Ajax for around £40 million. Donny van de Beek signed a 5-year contract with the football club with an option of a further year, and currently wears that number 34 shirt. Solskjaer obviously knows that we've got to address our home form. Our home form is a worry, because both our defeats this season have come at Old Trafford, because we lost our opening game against Crystal Palace by 3-1, and we lost 6-1 to Tottenham before the international break. But away from home, we've been exceptional. We haven't lost an away game in any competition since January. Wan-Bissaka, he'll keep his place in the team this evening. Wan-Bissaka has done very, very well in his last 2 games for Manchester United. He did very, very well against PSG. Made some good tackles, and he also did well in the Newcastle game. Got his name on the score sheet in the Newcastle game, and that was his 50th appearance for the club. By the way, that goal against Newcastle was his first goal for Manchester United. This season is Wan-Bissaka's second season at the club. We got him in a deal worth £50 million from Crystal Palace last summer. But prior to the last 2 games, didn't enjoy the best of starts to the season, let's be honest. David De Gea, he will remain in goal. David De Gea has rejuvenated himself, so I will credit him for that. You know, he did very, very well in the PSG game. Made some very, very good saves to deny Mbappe, Angel Di Maria and Kurzawa. Also made good saves in the Newcastle game, didn't he? You know, David De Gea has been long serving at Manchester United. This is his 10th season at the football club. He has made over 400 appearances for Man United in all competitions, over 300 appearances in the Premier League, and he's won everything domestically at the football club, and he has won individual awards reflecting on his good performances over the years. He will definitely remain our number 1 for this season. We paid around £19 million for De Gea from Atletico Madrid back in 2011. When De Gea does leave Man United, he'll go back to Spain. Last September, De Gea signed a 4-year contract with the club worth around £350,000 a week. But yeah, I know I've been critical of De Gea because in the last couple of years he has been a liability, reflecting on the calamitous mistakes he has made. Alex Telles this evening should be making his Premier League debut for the football club. Telles was very, very impressive against PSG on his debut. Like I said, made some good runs on that left flank. Had good set pieces, put good crosses into the box, and we expect to see more from Alex Telles. Obviously now he's our first choice left back. Against PSG he was playing as a wing back. Obviously we got Telles for just over £15 million with add-ons included, and he signed a 4-year contract with the club with an option of a further year. Victor Lindelof, I wouldn't start him. I've got element of concerns about Victor Lindelof because he's had a lot of bad games as a Manchester United player. But there again, you know, he's had some good games. Obviously, we brought him in under the Jose Mourinho era, paid around, was it £31 million in from Benfica. He struggled for that consistency in his first season, but in his second season there was improvements. And since then he's had some other good games, but it's been inconsistent recently. You know, Victor Lindelof is not a world-class centre-half, is he? Let's be honest. Scott McTominay, he's probably going to be involved this evening. McTominay really, really impressed me against PSG. Like I said, he cut out the runs well, cut out the passes, kept the ball well, dictated the play. And I know I've been critical of McTominay before. Just after the first lockdown, McTominay signed a 5-year deal with Manchester United, didn't he? And he's been part of the club for several years as Scott McTominay. Fred, he could also be involved. Maybe McTominay and Fred could play together in this one. Could start. Fred really impressed me, by the way, against PSG. He did lose the ball a couple of times, but prior to that, did very, very well. To be honest with you, I think Fred has really, really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Obviously, Fred has been at the club a couple of years. We paid £52 million for him from Shakhtar Donetsk. We got him in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window. Fred's got a contract with us until 2023. He has been subjected to transfer speculation a few times, hasn't he? Uh, Paul Pogba, now I'm hearing that he could be benched for this game. But some United fans would start him, some United fans wouldn't. Obviously, in our last two games, Paul Pogba has been on the bench, but he's obviously come on. So he hasn't started our last two games. Now, like I've said to you, Paul Pogba hasn't enjoyed the best of starts to this season. By the way, I give you the news regarding Paul Pogba yesterday. It says that Manchester United have rejected Paul Pogba's new deal, and we have warned Paul Pogba we will not break our wage structure to keep him at Old Trafford. So we're not willing to pay him what we did pay Alexis Sanchez, and that's what we're saying. We are willing to give him a pay rise, because we are keen on getting him a long-term contract. As it stands at the moment, Pogba is on 290 grand a week at Man United, so he's one of the highest paid players as it stands. Now, don't forget, we recently triggered that 1-year extension on Paul Pogba's contract. So that keeps him at the football club until June 2022, and Fabrizio Romano recently confirmed this. Now, Pogba a few weeks ago made an admission saying that one day his dream is to play for Real Madrid. And he said last year that he wanted to leave Manchester United because he was seeking for a new challenge, and he was talking a lot about Real Madrid and Zinedine Zidane. Mundo Deportivo said a few weeks ago that Barcelona were interested in signing Pogba. There's obviously been a lot of narratives of him possibly going back to Juventus. Pogba did endure 4 good years with Juventus. The vast majority of his performances at Man United have been totally comparison to his ones at Juventus. Like I said, at the turn of the year, we was critical of Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola. Main explanation is because he publicly criticised Solskjaer and Manchester United. But he did reveal at the beginning of the season that Pogba wants to stay, and he will hold talks over a new long-term contract. This season is Pogba's 5th season since he rejoined. Paul Pogba has made over 100 appearances for us in all competitions. And he's won 2 trophies at the club, and that was the Europa League and the League Cup. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him. Bruno Fernandes, he should be playing in this game. Bruno Fernandes has done very, very well at Manchester United. Don't forget he was the captain in Paris because obviously Harry Maguire was unavailable, and I've said we should give Bruno Fernandes the captaincy permanently because he shows fantastic leadership in the team. Bruno Fernandes has been at Manchester United around 9 months now. And obviously a lot of Bruno Fernandes' goals have come from the penalty spot. Bruno Fernandes, I think, has won some Matt Busby Player of the Year award. He must have won Premier League Player of the Month a good 3 times, reflecting on his good performances. Don't forget the other week he denied that he had a bust-up with Solskjaer, because there was reports coming out saying that Bruno Fernandes had lost faith in Solskjaer and he was demanding Solskjaer out of the club, and he was infuriated with the board over the lack of signings. But Fabrizio Romano did confirm that there's no problem between Bruno and Ole. Marcus Rashford, he'll play this evening. I've got to say Marcus Rashford has really, really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Rashford was a hero in Paris recently. That's the second time he scored the winner in Paris. Rashford has been part of the club for several years. He's now 22. He's nearly 23, is Rashford. He's been with us since the age of 7. So he's been at the club now over 15 years. He's been in our senior squad since 2016. And since then has become an integral part of our team. But yeah. Juan Mata, would you like to see him involved? There's a possibility chance he could start over Greenwood, I don't know. But if he does obviously play, he'll be reuniting with his former club, Juan Mata. Juan Mata enjoyed a good 2.5, 3 years with Chelsea. I think Juan Mata's had a very, very good career at Manchester United. He's enjoyed around 6 years or so at the club. He scored 50 goals in 258 appearances in all competitions. The games Matt has played in so far this season, he's done well. He did well in both our Carabao Cup games against Luton and Brighton. He also did well in the league game against Newcastle. Don't forget Juan Mata recently rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. We paid, was it just under £40 million for Juan Mata from Chelsea back in 2014. Matic, he won't start. Do you think he could be involved? Matic has obviously now lost his place in the team. I thought Matic had some good games though towards the end of last season. Matic has been at Manchester United now for over 3 years. We got him in a deal worth £40 million from Chelsea in 2017. He's aging up now though. Was it before the start of the season? Matic signed a 3-year deal with the football club. And what formation do you think Solskjaer's going to go with this evening? Do you think he's going to go with a 4-2-3-1? Do you think he's going to go with a 4-3-3? Do you think he's going to stick with 3 at the back? I think we'll look more effective with 3 at the back. But a lot of the time, since Solskjaer got appointed in, he has gone a lot with that 4-2-3-1 formation, but doesn't really seem to work, does it? And doesn't really seem to suit our standards. By the way, Facundo Pellistri made his first appearance for the club yesterday in the under-23s. I think also to Rojo and, was it Jones who played? Oh no, Rojo and Brandon Williams, sorry. I think it was 2-1 to Manchester United. So there you go. But yeah, really am looking forward to this game this evening. I really am. Just let me check my battery life. 25%. Like I said to you though, Man United have got a tough period. Chelsea this evening. Next game after that, RB Leipzig in the Champions League. That's our second game in the group stage. Leipzig, our last season semi-finalists in the Champions League. Then we've got Arsenal, another tough game. Then we've got Istanbul Başakşehir. That's the other team we've got in our group. And then obviously after that, it's Everton. So games are coming up thick and fast for Manchester United. Like I said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe as ours is at the moment. Obviously reflecting on them 2 wins. Before them 2 games though, Solskjaer was under serious pressure at the football club. And like I said to you, if we hadn't beaten Newcastle, then I think Solskjaer would have been sacked as Manchester United manager. I really do. Obviously a few weeks ago, there was talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in to replace Solskjaer. Obviously, it says we was looking at Massimiliano Allegri as an alternative to Solskjaer. A few weeks ago, like I've already said to you, Solskjaer was in the exact same position as what he was in at the first part of last season, because at the first part of last season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season, and at that point, he was very close to getting sacked. Solskjaer has got a contract with the football club until 2022, so I think he's got just under 2 years left on his current contract. I don't know if he's going to see out his contract. It depends if we can build on this PSG result and that. This is Solskjaer's second full season at the football club, isn't it? And he's managed nearly 100 games now as Manchester United manager. He's won over 50 games as Manchester United manager. If we can continue this good vein of form though, then maybe we can, finish in the top 4. I'm hoping as well that Manchester United can win a trophy, because a club of our size, want to be challenging and winning trophies, obviously. because we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era, and we haven't won a trophy for over 3 years. So yeah, if we can win a trophy, get a top 4, that would represent a good season for Manchester United, wouldn't it? But Solskjaer has been Manchester United manager now for almost 2 years. We appointed him in December 2018 to replace Mourinho, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. Like I said to you, we've had some good periods under the Solskjaer era. We had some bad periods as well, obviously, but don't forget, was it the second part of last season? We went on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions. We went on a 14-game unbeaten run in the Premier League. We did well in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. Solskjaer's got a good record against the top 6 sides as well. Last season we was very, very good against the top 6 sides. Obviously, last season Solskjaer did well. He got us qualification for the Champions League. Also got us 3rd and guided us to 3 semi-finals. And last season was his first full season at the football club. Solskjaer has made good signings. He spent over £200 million since he became Manchester United manager. We've also seen a lot of players depart the club since he came in. I also like the way he has promoted the youth. I still can't fully say that Solskjaer is the right man. I've said it a few times before, he's the right man. I don't know, honestly. Obviously, he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager, obviously. But as a player, Solskjaer was exceptional. He enjoyed 11 good years as a player for Manchester United, so he is a club legend. But to be honest with you, Solskjaer's gained managerial experience reflecting on how long he's been with us now. I think definitely Solskjaer needs backing in the January transfer window, because in the summer transfer window this year, he wasn't backed enough, was he? Let's be honest, because we missed out on all of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priority targets. We missed out on a lot of targets in general. And to be honest with you, I don't think any of the managers that we've had since Ferguson retired have been backed enough. But Woodward's recently said that he's backing Solskjaer in a lengthy statement. I think this is reflecting on our latest financial results. Because don't forget, last season we lost around £70 million in revenue because of coronavirus. Our revenues just recently fell by 20%, and we've paid around 20 million in dividends to the Glazers family. So the Glazers have taken more money out of the club. A lot of United fans are demanding, Woodward and the Glazers out, and they've been demanding them out for several years because our recruitment policy's been poor for several years, hasn't it? We've also overpaid for players, and we've made too many mistakes in the last 7 years. That's one of the main explanations why we've been so inconsistent. Next year, obviously we'll look to sign more players. We'll offload more players, I think, next year as well. I think Lingard, Rojo, Jones, Romero, they'll be offloaded next year. There's a possibility chance Matic could be offloaded. Maybe Juan Mata could be offloaded. Maybe Lindelof could be offloaded. Fred could be offloaded. Daniel James could possibly be offloaded. Maybe we could loan Brandon Williams out because following the arrival of Telles, Williams is now going to find game time difficult, So, there you go. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.